If you're looking for the latest NFL news, rumors, you're in the right place here. You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I'll be the host today, Mitchell Renz. 8.3 feet away from me is Tom Downey.
Just took it right from our Slack communication, just stealing Harrison's jokes.
Oh, sorry. That's what I'm here for. So we will dive into some news, especially around a team that you cover, Tom. It's Zeke. How about you take this one away?
Yeah, Elliott has tested positive for COVID-19. He is among, I think the number now is 2. There are several Cowboys and Texans players who have tested positive. Elliott's agent confirmed that, saying Zeke is feeling good right now. We know for a fact, by the way, here at Chat Sports, that Elliott last Sunday, June 7th, was out at one of the nightclubs here in Dallas and was not wearing a mask for that, and that 2 other people also at that club have tested positive. Elliott should be fine in time for training camp, but it's not exactly great news to hear if you're a Cowboy fan. Elliott also very upset that this information has come out because technically he's supposed to be protected by HIPAA in this case.
Sure, but also if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you can't really be happy about Elliott because, again, he finds himself in the headline for the wrong reasons. Who leaked it is what I
want to know. Because Elliott's not happy about it.
Well, I don't blame him not really being happy about it. But, yeah. So he was kind of the main, not even kind of, he's the main star player there for the Cowboys, but that wasn't the only team. Tom also kind of hinted that it was the Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Multiple players tested positive for COVID-19. And, you know, we're seeing all these players come out, and Texas hit a record high 2,287 cases on Sunday. So, like, for me, wondering how this is really going to impact going forward. You know, football, how the Texans, Cowboys. I mean, it's going to be, it's going to, I think, hinder some games. Honestly, like if a main star player gets COVID, you can't put him on the field.
Play. It's going to be an issue, and I think the reality of the way we're trending towards everything as a nation is that hey, we're going to open back up, and there are going to be players who test positive, and if a whole team gets tested positive, well, I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Maybe there will be some forfeits.
Yeah, if allowed. Will you guys go to an NFL game in 2020? So obviously with some of this news coming out, some players are getting it. I mean, obviously tailgating is fun. Going to NFL games, it's a good time, but there's going to be a lot of people there. So will you go to an NFL game in 2020? I want you to type 1 for yes, or I want you to type 0 for no. For those of you typing your 1 for yes, and heck, honestly, even if you type your 0 for no, go stay safe. Go to chatsports.com/stay safe, where you can get a 3-pack of NFL face masks of your favorite team for only $24.99. Listen, I don't like wearing them, but if I have to do it to go to games, I'm going to do it. If it's my way of helping society, I'm going to do it. Make sure you're washing your hands, make sure you're using hand sanitizer, and make sure you're covering your face or coughing into your elbow. Go to chatsports.com/stay safe because, listen, I want this to go away as soon as possible. I don't know if it will.
I'm an addict. I need my sports, please.
Yeah, Tom's an addict. You heard it here. Let's dive into the next thing here around Chuba Hubbard. And, Tom, there was a photo out here of Mike Gundy, head coach of Oklahoma State, with a OAN shirt, One American News. And Chuba wasn't really too happy about it. He basically said that, you know, he's not going to play for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Chuba was not pleased that Gundy wore that. Now, look, can we be all just upright and honest here? This should not surprise people that Gundy's rocking the OAN shirt or that he's conservative or that he's on the right side, because he said he watches OAN before. Like everyone knew this, that Mike Gundy watches OAN. Now we're all freaking out about it because he's wearing the shirt. It's a really bad look for Gundy. It's some pretty poor judgment on his part. I completely agree on that. Also, I guess I'll stereotype a little bit here, so I apologize. He is from Oklahoma, and he wears a mullet.
Do you wear a mullet, or do you have a mullet?
He has and rocks a mullet. It's a great mullet, by the way. Like, I am a little surprised that this has been the reaction so far. It's come out so strongly against Gundy when didn't we kind of already know all this?
Yeah, I don't really disagree. I think the more shocking news is, like, you know, you have Hubbard, who is probably one of the top prospects, would have been one of the top prospects coming out in 2019
I thought he should have come out. Like, and I've seen a lot of reactions saying, oh, this is going to hurt Hubbard's stock if he doesn't play. I'm not convinced that it does, frankly. And I totally get his mindset here. I do like seeing these college players.
You don't think it does hurt his stock if he doesn't play?
My biggest concern for him entering this NFL draft is going to be his workload. Okay. So if he doesn't have the workload, at least as high, I think that might actually help him a little bit. So I don't mind seeing college players actually utilize their platforms and the powers that they do have as college athletes to try and enact positive change here. I don't think it's going to negatively impact him in the draft if he were to sit out the entire season or whatever, or try and transfer or whatever. Hubbard's one of, if not the best returning rusher in all of college football, right alongside Travis Etienne and Najee Harris. Him taking this type of stand is a big deal, regardless of whatever potential impact that ends up having on his NFL draft.
So let's go from college football back over to NFL. We're going to talk about the top free agent on the market. I mean, it's NFL Daily. You know, we were going to talk about Jadeveon Clowney, and could he potentially be going to the Browns? So there was a report that the Browns are still interested in Clowney. It's not too much of an update, but, you know, Cleveland offered Clowney the biggest contract yet. Also, Mary Kay Cabot, she also had some words that said, hey, don't be surprised if the Browns, you know, are still interested.
Yeah, a little bit more of a similar report here. What's noteworthy to me is that Albert Breer says the Browns are now willing to do $15 million a year. There had been a report that the Browns' offer was $17 million.
Yep.
I guess that, in theory, that would make sense. The offer came in before the NFL draft or around the NFL draft. It's since dropped a little bit since Clowney said no. Common theme in every single Clowney story we have discussed. He did not play this market correctly.
Yeah,
he did not do it right. Coming off of a down year, wanted a ridiculous amount of money. Team said, nope, you're coming off surgery. Nope, can't get the same level of physicals done. Has led to him being unsigned. I do think he'd be a great fit in Cleveland, though.
Oh, I think 100%. I also think it makes a lot of sense for the Cleveland Browns to do this because Olivier Vernon, you're going to pay him, what, 15.5? You can let him go. Maybe you could put some of that money towards.
Put almost an equal amount.
Exactly.
Maybe you pay even an extra $3 million more, whatever. I think that's a worthwhile move for the Browns. I think it makes a lot of sense.
And I mean, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, it would be a heck of a 1-2 punch. And if you're Clowney, maybe you take that one-year deal, try to put up some sick numbers next to Garrett because, honestly, NFL teams I think would be a little bit more worried about Garrett than Clowney. So we want you to predict this. Where will Jadeveon Clowney sign this upcoming year? One of the top free agents still on the market. I'll give some shout-outs to a lot of the people that are watching us here on YouTube, but for Jadeveon Clowney, I still think it's a three-team race. I think
agree.
it's Titans, the Browns. I even think, you know, the Seattle Seahawks still could be in the mix. A lot of teams there, but I'm seeing Cardinals, Titans, Seahawks, Jets. Appreciate all the comments. Continue to let us know where you think Jadeveon Clowney is going to sign this upcoming year. If you're looking for the latest news and rumors, you are in the right place. Chat Sports here is going to keep you as up-to-date as humanly possible. Heck, we're keeping you also up-to-date on the top college football prospects. So if you're looking for content, if you need some of that in your veins, just NFL content, we got you covered here. Hit that subscribe button, and if you can take the link, youtube.com/chatsportstv, send it to as many friends as possible. We would love to be able to hit 200K subscribers, and we're getting really damn close. Let's now go to another team that could be interested in Clowney. That's the Tennessee Titans. And I thought it was interesting because the Tennessean, they basically said that they aren't an active bidder. However, the Titans have kind of been interested in Clowney the entire offseason.
Is there an active bidder right now for Clowney?
Fair. That's actually a fair
I actually don't think that there is because Seattle's like, well, you want too much money, so I guess if you change your mind, come back to us. The Browns are like, here's the standing offer. Come on and talk to us here. And the Titans, I think, were linked. There was it seemed like for a little bit like they were the favorites, the front runners, and then kind of the Browns have kind of inched their way back into it. I think it makes sense for Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Now, he's played 3-4. He's played 4-3. He'd be a really interesting fit in that Mike Vrabel defense.
Yep.
I don't think he'd be a stand-up edge for them.
I
If
agree.
you're trying to get your best 5 guys in that 3-4 front,
Yep.
Harold Landry, can't wait to see Jeffrey Simmons this year, by the way. Daquan Jones, get rid of Jack Crawford. He's not that great. Slot in Clowney there in your base defense. And now all of a sudden you've got Landry, Simmons, Jones, Clowney, and Beasley. And then on passing downs, you get rid of Jones. You almost kind of make Clowney more of an interior edge rusher, which I think fits his skill set pretty darn well. Call him a 5 technique there. He can shade over the defensive tackle. You can pair him on the same side as Harold Landry to add some extra size there. I think it's a really fascinating fit, and I think if Clowney is going to play football, take your pick. Browns, Seahawks, Titans. You got options there.
But also we know that Clowney wants to play for a winner. It's one of the reasons why he didn't end up signing with the Miami Dolphins. So if I'm Clowney, and let's just say both of these teams are offering me, let's just say $15 million for, argument's sake, who do you think is going to have more wins? Because if I'm him, I'm going to go with a team that I think is going to be able to win more. So who's going to win more football games this upcoming year? Type B for the Browns or Type T for the Tennessee Titans? Let's dive in now to the latest around Colin Kaepernick, because Pete Carroll said this about 3 days ago that one team is interested in Cap. Drew Rosenhaus came out today and says that he thinks Cap's going to get signed. And hey, realistically, since this whole Black Lives Matter resurgence, the conversation has come back up again. Will Colin Kaepernick get in the NFL? And if so, what team is going to sign him?
Look, we'll break that down on a future video.
Yeah.
You will quite in depth. So I don't want to directly answer that question. I'll make you guys wait a little bit longer for it. I think that it makes sense for a team to have interest if, of course, Kaepernick's willing to sign for the cost of a player who hasn't played in several years. And that's not fair to Kaepernick, but we're beyond the point of fair. That's why there was a settlement. Now, in most cases, you don't see an employee sue the employer and then get to work again for the employer. But I think it could make some sense for Kaepernick, and I think, as we'll get into later on this week, there are some teams that make some sense.
Absolutely. So we're going to hear at Chat Sports, we always let you guys weigh in, go in the comments on YouTube, Facebook. Let us know. Will Colin Kaepernick play in the NFL again? If you think he will, I want you to type P for play. If you're like, no way, Jose, type W for won't. I am seeing a lot of P's from Max Nelson, Camo Wolf's typing P, Bark's typing P, and then we did get a W from Jake Jeffries. Let us know. Go down in the comment section on YouTube, Facebook. Is Cap going to play? So, Tom, I like this one that you added here. So we got a little bit of a salary cap impact, and this one just kind of came across. You added it to the show. So
it's kind of new. It's also not new. It's going to be reported as new, but nothing's actually changed, quite simply. DeDoris Smith, the NFLPA's head, has said that, look, the NFL and the NFLPA have discussed future salary caps, how things are going to be impacted, because if there aren't fans or if there are fewer fans, that's going to impact revenue. That means the salary cap, in theory, would take a dip. And I want to emphasize this part because I think there's people freaking out about, oh, my God, the cap's going to drop by $40 million. Literal comment from Schefter. I don't think that happens. What the NFL and the NFLPA can do is, first off, they bargain on all salary caps. So you can borrow from future years when that big fat TV money comes in, and you were looking at maybe 5-6 years from now from doubling, for example. Well, then all you do is you borrow some of that. It's more of a flat rise, but it is still maybe at least staying similar. It's not going to dip by a huge amount. That's still going to impact teams and their plans. But both the NFL and NFLPA do not want a salary cap dip because that means that you have to cut players. So the NFLPA doesn't want that. The NFL does not want that. I think at minimum you're going to see a flat cap the next couple of years. I think that's what ends up happening.
I mean, it's going to be a lot different happening. And there's also some other changes going on here as well because I think obviously with salary cap impact, you have, the whole COVID-19 thing going down. Shorter preseason is possible. Training camp start date is still, I don't know,
supposed to be mid to late July. I think that's when it happens, but we'll see for certain in a little bit, I guess.
I mean, this is obviously going to impact players who, could have been or were free agents. It's also really going to impact rookies.
If things end up going properly here, what I think you might see happen is that the NFL is going to benefit from not having, or from seeing the NBA go through this, from seeing the MLB completely botch this in embarrassing fashion. They're going to know what not to do. So I think that will help the NFL. In terms of the luck factor involved with this entire thing, the NFL got pretty darn lucky.
Yeah. Something that you guys should do is go to chatsports.com/strong, because let's face it, we are stronger together, and I love these T-shirts that we have for all 32 NFL teams. So if you got your favorite team, if you go to chatsports.com/strong, you're going to be able to get your favorite team's Stronger Together shirt. Also, Father's Day, it's right around the corner, June 21st, so we don't want you to forget it. Make sure that you're showing your dad, grandfather, heck, if there's an important man in your life, go show them that you care. And these Stronger Together shirts, proceeds, they go to COVID-19 relief funds, which I think is another really just kind of added bonus, if
Almost
you will.
all the teams go to the United Way's COVID relief fund. The Cowboys go to the Salvation Army. So that's the only difference there.
Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers now, because CBS ranked the top 10 best quarterbacks in 2020. And, at first I looked at the list. I'm like, okay, it's not too crazy. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
Get into the list.
I'm like, wait a minute. Aaron Rodgers didn't make the list. Now, I think, we talked about it earlier. He's taken a little bit of a step back. He's not quite, I would say, top 5 anymore. But in my opinion, he is still easily a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. If y'all think I'm crazy, you can yell at me. I mean, I think Aaron Jones was a big part of why they were good, but he also still helped them get to the NFC Championship game. So Is Aaron Rodgers a top 10 NFL quarterback? Give us a why for yes and for no.
I'm
yes. saying why for yes.
I think yes, he is.
Yeah?
I think that even though he's not the same guy, but he doesn't turn the football over, he's consistently pretty darn accurate. There are still some like, oh, that was a pretty bad throw from Rodgers. It happens a lot more than people want to admit.
Yep.
He's still a really good quarterback.
Absolutely.
He's still a top 10 quarterback.
I mean, sure, 2016 was kind of, when I think of like glory day Aaron Rodgers, like that's probably the last time we saw him.
That was probably the end of the peak to an extent.
But he's still, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback. And you mentioned it before, his ability to really be able to take care of the football. So we found, touchdown to interception ratio. This is all-time NFL history. I mean, it's not even close. It's Aaron Rodgers, and then it's a huge step down to Russell Wilson. I mean, 4.3 touchdowns to every 1 interception. That's ridiculous. Now, sure, a lot of these guys are still in the NFL. The NFL's got a lot easier. Defense have been kind of can't really hit the quarterback anymore. But the fact that CBS didn't put Rodgers in their top 10 and had somebody like, Ben Roethlisberger over him, who didn't even really play last year, that's mind-blowing.
I don't understand why Brady would be above Rodgers. Like, that's actually the one that I think you're right, 10 and 9, or at least 10 for you. 9's the one that jumps out to me. If they had done this poll after the season last year, Rodgers would have been ahead of Brady. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but as a general consensus, from what I've seen in the comments, we went from, yes, Brady's on the decline, to he sends the Bucs to Brady's still the GOAT. He's still top 5, top 10 quarterback. I'm not really sure what happened there. I'm a little surprised they put Dak at 5, by the way. But I still think Rodgers is closer. I think he's better than Stafford, who I am higher on than I think most people. Still probably take him over Wentz. That's pretty close to me. He belongs in the top 10. I disagree with his placement.
I mean, I'm not going to get too mad about Dak because the only other guy I would have put there is Watson. But Dak's a good quarterback, but I think they got at least the top 4 right. We do have some news around Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers because they've extended their head coach, to a 6-year extension. This deal keeps him in place through 2025. If you want to talk about keeping the pieces together, hey, I actually kind of like this move, even though I am very surprised by it.
I mean, look, he's coming off a Super Bowl season, at least making it there, so it makes some sense. Don't worry too much about the overall record there. Had the one great year. This replaces the original 3 years he had left on his deal. That's why it's 6 through 2025.
Yep.
I think it makes sense here. I do believe this makes him one of the top 5 highest paid coaches in the NFL, by the way. Also does not sound like this was much of a discussion. This is a very quick conversation between Jed York and Shanahan of like, you want a new deal, Kyle? Yes, I do, sir. All right, congratulations. Here you go. You're our guy. I mean, that's how it should go, right?
I think the way that he's been able to really transform that team, you're looking at a team that was 4-12, then a Super Bowl. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, major reason for that.